Same question as last week. How are you feeling?
feeling good. Just taking it day by day and continuing to do the things I can to give myself a chance to play.
Coach Moorhead said on, I guess yesterday, that this time this week you're a lot further on than you were this time last week. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I would say it's probably fair. I don't know. It's kind of hard, I guess, to think about. I guess where I was last week, but it's just a whole new week, and I'd say it's fair. I think I feel better.
So last Monday, Coach said that he wouldn't completely rule you out, and you see us on Tuesday, and you were positive about playing. What was the rest of the week like for you?
About the same, I'd say. Continued to be optimistic about playing the game that weekend, and did everything that I could from a preparation standpoint, both physically and mentally, to have a chance to play.
How much did it bother you at all in the first half on this past Saturday?
I don't really remember.
Yeah.
It bothered me too much.
Coach Moorhead said it stiffened up a little bit. How frustrating was that, given that you had to come out of the game for the second straight week?
Yeah, no, it sucked. Obviously wanted to finish the game, but I guess given the circumstances, it was the best thing to do.
The pass you threw just before halftime, is that about as good a pass as you've ever thrown in your career?
Yeah, I guess I haven't really thought about it like that, but yeah, I would probably say it's one of the better ones I've thrown. But maybe you gotta give the credit to the catch. I mean, having the arm pinned down and being able to catch it with one hand was one of the more impressive catches I've ever seen too. So overall, I think it was just a really good play.
I don't know if you know this. Mississippi State signed Osiris Mitchell in June after his senior year, so he was kind of last man standing deal, and then he's become kind of your favorite target.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about his path, what are your impressions of that?
It's really cool. Like you said, I didn't know that about Cyro, and I think that is definitely worth looking into, just to see kind of his journey, and I guess the things that he's had to overcome since he's been here and all that. But since the time that that I've been here, he's been a resource for me. Guy that's always willing to work, always willing to catch passes. And, I can't say enough good things about Osiris, and he's definitely brought it this year so far, and we're gonna need him to continue to do that as the course of the season goes on.
During the game, were you under any restrictions as far as running the ball, or was it just kind of how you felt, how you judged it?
Yeah, it was normal game plan, normal operation. There was no don't run the ball here. It was normal operation.
Obviously, we didn't get a chance to speak to you at post game, but that first rushing touchdown was, you're down 10-0, you get in the end zone there. Kind of take us through that sequence there and what it felt like.
It was definitely needed. Like you said, we were down 10-0. Needed a play at that moment. We had a lot of big plays on that drive, running the football. We did really well, and I'm pretty sure we had a couple third down conversions on that drive as well. So definitely a big score. It could have been on any of the given runs, and I guess happy that I was able to get in there and score.
What did you see from the tape on Saturday from yourself and even from Garrett that both of you guys like to correct before next week?
Yeah, there was a lot of plays left on the field, by both of us. I think that you look back at a game like that where it's there's a couple plays. There's a couple plays that obviously you want to have back every week, and I guess it is more notable, or it seems more when you lose. But you try to take the same approach every week. You don't. There's a quote that Coach Moorhead uses all the time. Don't accept in victory what you wouldn't in defeat. And I think that it's very. It's tough. It's tough to look back at the plays when when you lose games. And but we've made the corrections. We've put it past us, and we're getting ready to go for this weekend.
Your receivers the first 2 weeks were almost perfect. This past week they had a couple of miscues there. As kind of the leader of the offense, what's your message to those guys when maybe they have a drop?
From over the course of the game, things like that happen. Whether there's a few drops or a fumble by me, missed high, missed low, things like that. It happens. It's football, and it's a game of execution. And so if one guy doesn't do his job, it messes up the other 10. And so it takes all 11 of us. It's the ultimate team sport, and obviously we need everybody, and just the receivers. It wasn't just me. It wasn't just the offensive lines. Collectively as an offense, we needed to be better. And like I said, we've put the tape behind us. We've learned from it, and we're going to continue to keep working.
How quickly did y'all put the game behind and you move on to getting it ready for Kentucky?
Normal time as we would have, as we did the first 2 weeks with a win. I mean, we grade the film, we correct it in the beginning of practice, and then we move on to the next opponent. So it's normal time.
What do you see from Kentucky's defense?
Good team. Obviously, they just came off of a really close loss playing against Florida, but definitely a team that big, strong, fast, going to play hard. So we're excited for the opportunity.
Maybe it could have, been a little more pleasant kind of deal if it had been after a win. But have y'all had any fun in the quarterback room or anything with Garrett in the helicopter play? I guess that just gotten so much airplay the last week.
Yeah, no, it's really funny too, just because of Garrett's personality, as you guys are probably seeing. Garrett really doesn't care about the outside world. I mean, he's very focused on. Really all the important. There's no really distraction for Garrett. It's really something to admire. No social media. Doesn't really care about anything. He loves football. And he handles his business in the classroom. It's really cool, especially for a guy that's young, 18, 19 years old, to have that kind of maturity. It's really cool. But I mean, of course, we've talked about it a little bit. I heard he answered the question to the media. He's that high in an airplane. I was like, that's Garrett. That's the most Garrett answer I could have thought of. So, but yeah, we gave him a little hard time about it.
Given your own experience with the injury and hit that flying play by him, and what's happened in both college and football the first 3 weeks, how do quarterbacks put the threat of injury out of their mind? Because so many guys are going down at all levels right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily something that I guess personally I've ever thought about. I mean. It happens. Injuries happen. It's a violent game, and sometimes the game isn't going to love you back. So it's just a part of the game. You can't. If you go out and you play scared and you play not to get injured, I mean, it's one, going to take away your focus from the things that matter, and two, you're probably going to get injured. So you just got to let that free and just play ball.
In this game last year, Kentucky kind of had their way with the Mississippi State offensive line. They run some odd man fronts, and so how important is your role in that as far as adjusting protections and that sort of thing to kind of keep you guys out of a negative play?
Yeah, it's definitely important. And just as much as any other week, studying the film, trying to find out what they do best, given the situations that we're going to be in. I'm going to take the same approach that I would for any other opponent, and be prepared for what's at stake this weekend.
How much are you looking forward to just getting your first SEC game under your belt?
I'm excited. I'm excited to do it. It's obviously. It means a lot in the South, and so I'm just excited. Don't really want to make it I guess overwhelming topic. I mean, still got to do, like I said, still got to do the things that I would do for every other opponent. So, but excited to start SEC play, and excited for this weekend.
With Kentucky, they've kind of got that 3-4 defense with that sort of defensive end linebacker hybrid. What challenges does that present, or if anything?
No, it's it can present some, I guess, challenging looks. I mean, depending on how we're going to ID it and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, we're going to game plan for what we think works best, and be ready for that.